Good morning, everybody. My friend T-Bone told me to read this scan information. He sent it in to share with me, and he wanted me to read it. So I'm going to share the screen and read this today. I hope everyone's doing as good as they can. My side is off and on as far as hurting. Um, they've been saying stupid stuff like "Hi, Mr. Smiley Pants" and different stuff like that, and trying to, uh, you know, just tell me all kinds of crazy stuff in my head. So it's constant interrogation. They even brought up my grandparents the other day and said, "You remember when you and your grandparents used to walk trails and all that? We've been watching you since then." All lies. Now, V2K will sometimes tell you the truth to get you to believe them and bait you in to believe the horrific fear they try to put you in. So anyway, I'm gonna read T-Bone scan real quick, and that'll be my video for the day. He also has a testimony a few months back. Okay, findings of a computational electronic advanced subject analysis of data dash signals collected during a nonlinear junction scan using a full spectrum analyzer from 8 kilohertz to 20 gigahertz frequency monitoring suite with a signal recorder running to capture any and all RF of Thomas. The date was January 15, 2025. Time 11:15 a.m. His age is 64. I have edited out all that. All that stuff was filled in, and I can attest to that. He asked me to edit all that out. Of course, that's his personal information, and he wants his name kept secret uh, because of his work and stuff. I think I cannot remember. My memory has been very clouded because of this program. And also, one thing to remember now, okay? You do not have to have technology inside your body to be tortured. So, so if you don't have money for a scan, don't waste your time. Uh, I mean, because even if you have the scan, there's really nothing you can do with it. Um, in my opinion, I've seen people take scans to court and get turned down. I mean, and hopefully one day it will, but all I'm saying is don't go waste your money if you're barely making it. If you're one of the targets, like most targets that have no money and can't make it and can't spend it, don't go spend your last, don't go spend your last savings to get a scan because you may not have nothing in your body and still be getting tortured because they don't need nothing to do it. Nothing but your DNA, your bioresonance signature, stuff like that. Okay. So here's what he sent to the company. He wanted me to read this as well. My current occupation is the OTR truck driver. When my target became overt, I was training to become a Class A bus driver. This is in 2008. Currently, I'm a semi-retired through investments in a family business I was part of 35 years ago. For 35 years. I'm currently working on getting my teeth looking better. I may go back to part-time driving in the future. Most of my time driving OTR, I was owner operator. I thought at first there were many people involved through V2K. I was being led to believe it was the company I was working for specifically. The owner and his wife, their company, like a lot of transportation companies, are certified by the DoD. So via V2K, I was being led into this hearing all the time. I was being tested for promotion within the company. That company, my targeting started extremely surreal, but I had noticed prior to 2008, say June of 2007, my sleep wasn't the same. I'm pretty driven, high strung, so 4 to 6 hours, and I'm good for 2 days. But I was feeling edgy and nervous just trying to sleep then. My father's business was through a large corporation. He was very successful and wanted my brother and I to be a part owner someday, but on his terms, understandably. But I didn't want to be tied down, so I stayed with him until 2004 in another part of the business. He was downsizing. Then we worked out an agreement with some co-investments, and we had my brother decide to stay, so I started working for myself shortly after. I've heard so many reasons I'm targeted. Family, friends, U.S. Armed Forces, countries outside the U.S., my father's former company, McDonald's. Just about anyone I come in contact with going through the same stuff, targeting something random on the internet. My former company, Burlington Trailways, former company, Schneider Transportation, or just about anything random a supercomputer can dream up. I do perhaps have two theories. I used to attend a men's recovery meeting at a local minimum security prison. One of the prisoners at the time, now doing well, I was put into contact with him as I talked to someone I could trust about all this. He was concerned but wouldn't acknowledge the program's existence. He's a little manic sometimes and would call me out of the blue, say he was headed to D.C. to visit with General Patrius, saying heads will roll. His name is Ricky Ray. I believe he's probably targeted as well. As a guy I attended with Donald Jones, he exhibited signs as well. Later, he tried to burn his house down. My ex-wife worked with a gal and her boyfriend worked as a guard at this prison. He was stationed in a tire outside the prison. We would get together occasionally the first time we met. He said I would have to let them know that we had a contact from time to time on a visit we had about a year later. He said, I'm sorry, on a visit we had, he said, okay, the first time we met, he said I would have to let them know that we had contact from time to time. On a visit we had about a year later, he said that they were working on something at the prison, and they told everyone working that if they felt funny, aka all the symptoms of targeting, they should report it. He did go on to say he wasn't supposed to say anything to me, but he wanted me to know. The time frame was 98 through 2002. I had a falling out with my dad's business partner. My uncle he was going through cancer. I was in the process of leaving. He was also going to be unable to keep his part of the business as he was developing systems of Parkinson's. We didn't find that out till later. I was about to leave the company, and he was taking it out on me really bad. So much I was the sounding board. So much I was the sounding board. I talked to my dad about it. He said ignore it. It was really hard to take, but I knew if I talked to someone at the company, it would stop. My uncle had been under pressure with them before. It worked, but it affected my relationship with both my father and uncle. We worked that out later, more so on my terms. V2K occasionally now used to be frequent. V V2K occasionally now used to be frequently that McDonald's is behind it. It scared me in the beginning as falling out happened in 2003. The first company I trained with in 2003, my trainer was a wonderful driver, a Vietnam vet. A little crazy, would ask me frequently if I could hear the secret noise coming through the speakers. He would say it's to calm drivers down. I heard one other driver say he heard cartoons. He was starting to act a bit odd, like we get, but I never did I get V2K 22 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you're getting whatever frequency is used to make you feel really lethargic, brain fog, severe paranoia, and V2K, you believe all the lies along with heated, dry skin, and especially in my forehead. I filed one police report and had a visit from an officer in 2015. That's when the direct energy got so bad I resigned from the bus company and was doing cement work with my work. My brother's wife had died. It was apparently my fault. I was sweating profusely for days. I smoked cigarettes at the time, and the smell was being manipulated. But I think I'd smoked so much I was overdosed on nicotine. I went to the emergency room. Cops suggest, due to the cop's suggestion, but they put me in a cement room with pure oxygen. I requested a drug test because they said they were injecting me with acid. He's talking about his V2K. I had some cheap test sticks because I was paranoid. I don't do drugs anymore since 1988. I tested myself the day before I called the police, and the stick was faint. So I panicked that night and went up to my neighbor's apartment and politely asked if he and his girlfriend were the one doing it to me now because V2K says we trade off and you're supposed to make an idiot out of yourself, be institutionalized, unemployed, and psychotic. I had one brief period of unemployment right after all this happened, about 6 months. Went to school, gave myself a break. I had been overtly targeted for 6 to 8 years at that point. I used to believe I had a handler. I used to believe Burlington Trailways was involved and that they sold me to the DOD. I was being told it was McDonald's Corp. I used to believe I was constantly being gangstalked, that any person I came in contact with was involved. I used to think thousands of people were gangstalking me or sitting behind a computer somewhere doing V2K. After 16 to 18 years of this program being very repetitive and every day feeling more and more dreadful, I've actually become sensitized. I really have to get hit hard with direct energy to really feel like it's affecting me. I'm normally hit hard after 8 p.m. Getting maybe 2 hours of rest, not sleep, is the hardest. It's easy to manipulate someone when they have little energy to fight. It's like your brain is asleep all the time. My theory is it's done by complex computers. There's few people involved in some cases gang stalking, and everyone is brought in a little differently. I think if people were being bought and sold, by thousands and more damaging evidence would get out. I believe the program was farmed out or sold to another country. Maybe the U.S. has an antenna. I'm not real tech savvy. I don't believe there's hundreds of drones over my house. I don't believe law enforcement's involved. Maybe very few. I'm a semi-retired truck driver, average guy, no psychotic problems. Never been arrested, nothing criminal in my background. Now, I know a lot of y'all do believe neighbors are involved, and I believe in some cases they are. So this is his beliefs. He's entitled to his beliefs. I'm just saying. I believe just by the way I feel every day, there has to be something going on. I think seeking Cherie's results, you'll find something. I'm not doing this to take someone to court. That's probably wishful thinking. I'm doing it for the other people in our group. Some will do it also. We compare notes. I'm okay with any outcome. This is from my general curiosity. I hope you'll find my letter here enough for you. Trust me, I'm legit. I wish I wasn't having to do this at all. I don't get bent out of shape anymore. I just try to cope the best I can. I'm going to be at the dentist in Mexico another 7 days or so. It's the last step, so lots of lab work. If you're available around, I think, October 16th area, I'd like to fly to Salt Lake sooner rather than later. We'll do debit card. Price is actually better than I anticipated. I believe I'm a candidate. I'm not with government. My father served in Korea for 2 years. He was in charge of 6 men. They did special ordnance. So it's something my father would never talk about it due to affecting his life to a great degree. Dental implants, broken bones, right leg, smoke, and all that. All procedures were performed and conducted in accordance with national standards as set forth taught by the equipment. All engineers, representatives of AAA were involved with procedures, are trained and certified on the equipment used and procedures conducted. I am in no means promoting AAA, nor will I promote anybody on this channel unless I know for a fact 100% um, they're legit. Because see, when channels go around promoting stuff, and say I promote somebody and the people I promote screw somebody over, then I'm just as responsible. That's why I don't promote targeted justice. That's why I don't promote uh, anybody. Because if somebody gets screwed over off me promoting something, then I'm just as guilty. That's just the way I think and the way I feel. Okay, all procedures were formed and conducted in the corner. Okay, various power settings were used with the nonlinear junction detector equipment during the scans at different depths and levels. After multiple passes, our equipment indicated the following listed value. Location: semiconductor corrosive right temple 40%, behind right ear 70%. Interesting. Below left ear 25%. Right abdomen 55%, left lower abdomen 30%, brainstem 60%. Interesting. I get shocked right here on the brainstem every time I close my eyes. Nonstop shocking happens, whether I'm taking a nap or whatever, and my whole body starts vibrating. They also went into my spine in 2022 twice in a hospital for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. And one time they said they were taking fluid from my spine. One time they said they were putting fluid in my spine for a CAT scan. But 30 minutes, that's another story for another day. Center of back, 40%. Top right buttock, 70%. Okay. And here's a picture of his scans. Okay. Let me see. All right. So here we go. So if I'm not mistaken, uh, red, if I'm not mistaken, normal temperatures, no, normal temperatures, but higher than expected energy from head area. So you see all that right here in the head area? All that. So higher than usual temperatures, higher than expected energy coming from the back of the neck. Normal temperatures, but higher expected energy from the head area. As you can see. And then right there is supposed to be something right there. As you can see, right there. I mean, he's a V2K victim or survivor, whatever you want to call it. And so I think it's very, not a coincidence. You got one right here in the base of the brain stem, and then you got one here right behind the ear. that's acting up. Normal temperatures, but higher than expected energy from head injury in area. After intense review of all signals captured on the full spectrum analyzer during his scan, we found the following signals. They are shown in detail on the following graphs. The following graph shows 1.7 gigahertz that we captured during the scan of Thomas on January 15, 2025. All the signals shown are baseline and normal for the area except the signal shown in red. The red signal at 1.7 gigahertz with a magnitude of 28 dBm uh, is only present during the PN junction scan of the victim. This is an ultra high frequency band. It's used for high speed two-way communications and GPS. And it says the information contained in this thing's property unbound. And notice it says, so right there, I don't know if y'all can, if I can see it's higher than normal. It says when only present during the PN junction of the scan. So he's definitely got a high speed two-way communication and GPS going on uh, in his head. So that would explain V2K, all that. If you're interested in seeing his story, go to T-Bone, the interview with T-Bone I did with T-Bone. So I'm gonna stop sharing the screen right now. Thank you, T-Bone, for sharing that information with us. Again, I'm not here to promote scans. I'm showing what he did, and you know, like I said, I do not. If you have uh, money to get a scan done, and it's not going to hurt your wallet, by all means, go get it. Um, if you feel like getting it. Me personally, I don't have the money, and you know, I know that, you know, oh yeah, and if you do go get a scan done and it shows nothing, that don't mean you're not a target. This stuff is so precise and so advanced now, they don't need none of that stuff. Um, and then, you know, they just don't need it. They don't need none of that stuff to target you at all. Some corporations, I think, put this stuff in people to uh, keep track with them, data mining, stuff like that. But, you know, they don't even need that no more. So, anyway, God bless all TIs. Thank you, T-Bone, for coming out and showing your strength.